Welcome back, chums, this is LastKnownMeal, and because you enjoyed my previous iconic weapons list, here is another one featuring a lot more you may have missed. As always, be careful for spoilers because some of these weapons can only be obtained during certain missions. First weapon on the list is Baseball Bat X-MOD2. This is an amazing melee weapon in case you are doing build around it, because as all X-MOD2 variants, you can actually place mods in it, or well, 2 mods to be precise. It gives very good armor penetration, bleeding and stun chance. To find it, you have to go to the exact location I am in here, facing this construction. Once you are there, you will see yellow scaffolding to the right of this crane. Go to it and start going up one flight of stairs and head to the left. Go through the walkway and turn right, and at the end you will see the bat itself. Also be careful because sometimes it is guarded by some chums, but this is nothing special for you, you can pretty much go through them. Next up we have Pizdets, a term that I can't go and explain in detail because I will be demonetized. So this is an iconic smart submachine gun that has a really good headshot damage multiplier and relatively fast lock-on time. It increases its rate of fire with each consecutive shot and has higher crit chance. To get this weapon you have to get the side gig called Spy in the jungle, although I think there is a way to trigger this a lot faster if you approach Organotopia, which is right over here where my character is standing. When you are inside, you will have the gig basically, and as you get deeper into the building, don't worry, there is no way to miss it because the building itself is relatively linear. Once inside, you will fight Boris Rybakov, an elite soldier will be leading the scavs there, so after you defeat him, he will drop this iconic weapon. Sadly, I don't have the footage of it, but be careful with this fight, he is a bit tough on higher difficulties. Speaking of good rifles, another power assault rifle you can get in a side gig is Carmen. This one is great because when you shoot the limbs, you have increased crit chance. It also handles much better than the rest because if you jump, slide and shoot, you will be much more precise, and while doing so you will increase your damage and bleeding damage you deal. This weapon is a reward for the gig called Balls to the Walls that you can find if you get close to Hansen's big building or well, you enter the courtyard itself. Once you're there, you will play as Kurt a little bit because Paco will be telling you his story and then he will ask for help. Now, there are a few things you can do here. Either escort Paco out with your car of Dogtown if you tell him to run for the hills, or you can call your friends to arrange for help. In case you help them by getting the generators, for example, Carmen will be waiting for you there in the spot after 2 in-game days where you basically picked up the gig itself. In case you escort him out of Dogtown, he will call you from Afterlife. You go talk to him there and that's it, the weapon will be right next to him. Next up we have Cheetah, an iconic power pistol that has a really cool pattern, but besides that this pistol is great if you like to go on enemies close up, because critical and bleeding chance is increased if the target is near you, or well, closest target to you will initiate that bonus. Getting this pistol is tricky because of the gig itself. Gig is called No Easy Way Out, where you talk to Aaron, ex-Animal member that wants to become a pro boxer, but once you go up to the mirror to have one of his implants removed, Angie shows up and well, threatens you where if Aaron doesn't fight, well, ending will be kinda sad. So you attack Angie here and loot the weapon from her. I'm not sure if you can get this gun if Aaron fights, but you have to weigh in this option with yourself, gun or life of Aaron. Now we arrive to one of my favorite iconic chainswords in the game, and that's Cut-O-Matic X-MOD2. It has a very good damage per hit and great bleeding and burn chance. To find it, head over to the exact location again I am on the map, so above Terra Cognita. Once you're there, you will see this big Digimortal building. Look to the right and you will see this oval building with a van in front of it. Simply jump down and go to the left. At the end of this hole on the ground, you will see the weapon itself. There is also a whole story about how this guy found himself in this situation, so read the shard next to it. Next up we'll find Pozhar X-MOD2 iconic power shotgun, which does insane headshot damage as well as decent armor penetration. Pozhar also means fire, at least in my language, or well, when something is on fire like a building. Besides that, it also has a really cool finish of the weapon itself. To find it, it's a bit tricky, but just follow my route here and stick to the left side. You have to get right here on my marker. This is between Drop Point and Crest Street Fast Travel. Once you are there, head up to the stairs right next to this Amps graffiti and go to the top of the stairs. After that, turn left and continue forward until you see this big machine, so jump on it and continue to the other building. After that, jump into this hallway. Inside, turn left, you will see a bunch of trash bags, go through them, and in front you will see Where's Johnny graffiti. Now these doors right here are locked during the day, so my suggestion is when you arrive here, wait until midnight. Then if the doors are still closed, walk away from this a bit, just go somewhere else for a little bit so that actually NPCs can respawn here. And after that you will see people around, simply walk inside through the door and Pozhar will be waiting for you on the actual table. Next up we have NDI Ospray, a very powerful iconic power sniper rifle that is basically one shot if you hit them in the head, and it fires a powerful series of explosive rounds. Headshots increase damage from hip firing, and neutralizing multiple enemies increases reload speed and chance to apply burning. You can find this weapon easily during the Birds with Broken Wings mission, where you get a briefing from Reed and Alex. Once you enter the room, go to this part where you get Her Majesty pistol, so in this crate you will find Osprey. Keep in mind that I am not sure that you can get this weapon after this part of the story, because CDPR has a tendency to lock some areas after you are done with them in a quest, sadly. After that we have Ambition, and Ambition is another really cool weapon that you get during Prototype in the Scrapper gig, where you rescue Hassan. This is the location of the gig itself where it starts, but keep in mind sometimes it's going to take a bit until Hans calls you to offer this. Once you make it to Hassan, I chose the option of rescuing him, and later on I said to Mr. Hans that he will cooperate but he shouldn't be given to Zetatech. Once the gig is over, you have to wait a few days until you get a text from Hassan. He will tell you to meet him, and there you will see Ambition, or well, he will give it to you. This is a very cool weapon because it comes with unique Zetatech scope, and hits have a chance to apply bleeding and bonus headshot damage for its duration. Handling of Ambition is nice, plus it can do some really good damage. And for the end we have not one but 3 amazing iconic weapons that you can loot from Hansen, and those are Bald Eagle, Fang and Wild Dog. In order to trigger this fight you must side with Reed during this particular mission. If you side with Songbird, I believe you cannot get it, although Barges do actually open the door up top where Hansen initially stands, so maybe you can pick it up from there. Keep in mind that fighting with Kurt on higher difficulties is tough, and I would advise staying away from him when he pulls out his knife. But if you have melee build, you can then fight him close up like I did here, but I barely made it out. Bald Eagle is an iconic power revolver that works great with Fang, Kurt's knife. Basically, after throwing Fang into enemy leg, shooting that same leg with Bald Eagle will shred it to pieces and return Fang to your hand, and it's more effective against moving targets. Wild Dog is a power light machine gun where repeated hits increase fire rate and crit chance. Quick melee attack deal massive damage when ammo is empty, so it's good to, use it if you're boxed in by melee enemies. And also Fang Knife has a passive buff that, if thrown and it hits a target, it actually cripples them, preventing escape, and continued attacking in close combat has increased damage. So you can actually use these 3 weapons as an actual build because they work well with each other, especially if you copy Hansen's build. And these were all of the weapons for today. I will have another one of these videos in the future to cover the rest of the weapons I haven't mentioned in this video, and also you can check out my previous iconic weapons guide video for more. If this video helped you, consider liking and subscribing for more, and join our community on Twitter and Discord. Huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters, and I will see you very soon, Shrooms, with another video. Stay classy and bye bye.